Hi there, my name is Dawn Monroe, and I'm a technical trainer out of Wichita, Kansas. And I realize that a lot of folks still need help doing Zoom meetings. And we're going to be on lockdown probably for a lot of time over the winter months. So we've got to figure this out so we can stay connected with our family and friends. So I wanted to share with you Zoom for the boomers, how to participate in Zoom meetings. So here we go. These are some of the things that I wanted to talk to you about: setting up your audio and your video, using those fun virtual backgrounds on the beach, and all kinds of things that maybe have eluded you as you've joined meetings so far. So let's dive in and take a look. First thing I want to say is that the Zoom view that you're seeing on your end is personal to you. When you change these view settings, only you can see that. Everybody gets to change their own in their own environment. So, when you change back and forth from the speaker view, which is just the one person, to the gallery view, which is like that Brady Bunch, everybody view, then you're the only one seeing it that way. Everybody gets to choose how they want to see it. So go ahead and do that. Turn on that Hollywood Squares or Brady Bunch and see everybody's faces. It's really fun. Now, you might also want to know more about all those controls that are popping up when you move around the screen. And I should say that gallery and speaker view, when you move around the screen, it usually shows up in the top right corner. This little toolbar shows up usually along the bottom, but you can move it. So look for it at the bottom. And here we've got the microphone that controls the speakers and your sound. So the sound that you hear and the sound that comes from you going to others. We also can control our video settings if we want to be on camera or not. If you'd like to see everyone participating in the meeting, all the attendees, you can look at the participant list. And it's fun to get in the chat. If you don't feel like turning on your camera, maybe you just want to chat and type and interact with people that way. Now, depending how your host has set it up, you may or may not be able to share your screen. You may or may not be able to record, but I went ahead and put them in here so you could see them. One thing that's really fun and a great way to communicate with everyone without talking is to use a reaction button. And I've got a screenshot of those coming up for you to see closer. And then finally, when you're ready to go, just look for those red buttons so you could leave and exit the meeting. Okay, another view that's going to happen is when someone is sharing a screen, then you get some certain options, and this generally shows up at the top of the screen. You'll see a bar up there, usually with some bright green, and it has a little menu where you can drop it down. Really important that size, you can actually adjust the size. So if you need to see things bigger, this is where you need to go. Again, it's only for your view. It's not impacting anyone else in the meeting. There's a couple other things here for remote control that may or may not be turned on by your host. That's when someone actually would take over your screen. And then annotate allows you to actually color on the screen, or you can have like a whiteboard and draw on it together. And so that may or may not be turned on. You might also have some options in here about side-by-side mode or a full screen. So these are things that have been changing, and you may see them different on your end, but look for them, see what you have. Now, audio is really important. We want to be able to hear you in the meeting. So the first thing you're going to do, and if you're not seeing that toolbar at the bottom, Usually you just move around your mouse or tap on the touchpad on your computer. If you're on a phone or a tablet like an iPad, you usually can touch and see some tools and view options. So we're looking for the one that looks like the microphone, and this is where you are turning off and on your own sound. So if you see the red slash through it down here in the bottom right corners where I've got it, it actually turns off your microphone. So no one can hear you. When you see the red slash, your microphone is off. If you want to turn it on, simply click on it. I've written you a pro tip here. If you hold down the space bar on your computer, you can actually talk without actually turning off the unmute. You can simply hold it down, wait just a second, wait a beat, and then you'll see that it's allowing you to speak, and you go ahead and talk, and then you let go and you're back in the mute mode. Now, if you're really having a bad day, you should get into this little arrow beside the microphone and it opens up a menu. And look here, you can test your speaker and microphones. So if you're really having trouble, this is where you go. Okay, test your speaker and microphones. Let's go on and talk about the video. So the video is either going to be showing your picture or not showing your picture. Now I have a profile picture set up on mine. Otherwise, it would just say my name or maybe my phone number if I came in from a phone. So if I wanted to, if I was in this mode with just my profile picture showing or my name was showing, I would want to click this button to start my video. The red slash means no one can see me. My camera is not on. If I do have my camera on, like the picture below, this is where I want to stop my video. So maybe I need to take a break from the meeting and I want to get up and move around. Or maybe I'm just having a snack and I don't want people to see me eating. I can go ahead and just click that stop video and then I'll see the red slash through it. And that means my camera is not on at the moment. Now, if you want to get into the controls for your camera, use the little up triangle beside the start or stop video button, and it opens up a menu. This is where everybody's going for those fun backgrounds. Now, I'm going to warn you, if you have an older computer, the fun virtual backgrounds may not work on your computer, but it's worth a try. You can go out and see. And so I've got a screen here. I'm going to show you what these look like. Oh, and I also wanted to mention there is a way to add your picture or rename yourself in the meeting. You'll see that when you're looking at your square in the meeting, you'll see either a dot, 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 an ellipsis, or you could always right click on your little square and you get this little menu. So you can also mute yourself and start or stop your video from this menu. You can also rename. So you can actually type in whatever name. So maybe you're in a meeting with a lot of strangers and maybe you just want your first name and not your full first and last name. I get it. Go ahead and do that. Change it to just your first name. And then here you can edit the profile picture. So if you have a picture of yourself you'd rather use, or some people use a company logo or an organization logo, and that would be good too. So you can do that for customizing your own setup. The virtual backgrounds are a lot of fun. And when you get in that menu that's associated with the video, one of the options is for virtual backgrounds. It takes you into a menu like this, and you'll see you can shop around and you can pick pictures. I've picked the beach here, but you are also able to upload your own picture so people can customize. And here you see one with my training logo. And I've added something called video filters. They have some fun ones, and I put on some fun sunglasses in here. So you can be silly if you've got a silly group. You can go ahead and try out those video filters. Again, you are going to the picture for the video and using the little up triangle, and it can get you into the virtual backgrounds. Have fun with that. You're also able to see the participant list. If you click on your control toolbar there, you can see participants and you can get in and see a list of everybody. This screen capture only has me on the day I did this, but you can see this is also where you can answer a question the speaker might ask, like answer yes or no. There's also some other little buttons in here, like I'm getting up to get some coffee. There's a little coffee cup. So you can indicate what's going on with you to the speaker without interrupting anything. You also see I have some other tools there as a host of a meeting. Reactions are super fun, and this lets your presenter or your host know how you are interacting with the meeting. So you'll see a little smiley face and reactions on your control tools. And you can pick one of these, clapping or thumbs up or a heart. And here I'm showing my picture and I put the heart, and it shows up in the corner of my video. It only lasts for 10 seconds. So you just indicate a reaction and go on from there. I like to chat too. And so you might be interested in chatting if you don't want to interrupt or talk, or maybe you can get in there and you see someone you haven't seen for a while. Where it says everyone here, when I have a whole group in the meeting, I can usually open that up and see everybody's name, and I can actually chat with just one person. So you can pick who you want to chat with, or if you just want to do a shout out to everybody in the meeting, you can use that option. Just make sure you're talking to who you think you're going to talk to. You also can save the chat. If a lot of things are going on there, there's a little ellipsis here as well, and you can click on that and you can save the chat if your host has allowed it. Okay, sharing screen. Sometimes you need to do this. Maybe somebody's going to help with something on your computer and you want to share the screen and talk about it. So when you go to the green share screen button, it gives you a window kind of like this, and you could pick to share the screen. If you wanted to talk about a specific program in there, you could share just the program, but probably you want to share the screen so they could see everything going on with you. So you click the option you want and be sure and click the little blue share button down in the bottom right corner. If you are sharing sound, like a video, then you want to be sure and click the sound options too, or the rest of the meeting won't be able to hear you. So that's really nice to know. That's down at the bottom of the share screen window. Annotations are super fun. You can actually draw on the window. And if we were live together doing this, I would actually invite you to draw on this slide with me right now. When someone is screen sharing, you're going to see the options at the top. One of the options is annotate. If the host has it turned on, you can actually click in there and draw. You get access to all those fun drawing tools. And a lot of times I invite people to try that as we're experimenting. It's nice to know about the plans. You can have a Zoom account for free. You don't have to sign up and pay for anything. You can host one-on-one meetings all day long. When you have group meetings, they do cut you off at 40 minutes. So if you have meetings that are going to last an hour, you probably need to step up and buy the plan. It's about, I don't know, $13, $14 a month, something like that. So you can divide that out, or you can pay it in the year for the whole year. So they've got that, but you do not need to buy a Zoom account to host a meeting or to attend meetings. You can have a free account and still set up your profile with a picture and get in easily. Now, getting in is another thing. So some people get in on from the web, so they get an internet window like Google Chrome, and they go to the Zoom website, and you can type in your login, your username, your email address, and your password. Or you can actually download the Zoom to your desktop, and it gives you a little app so you can open the Zoom app. So the picture in the background is from the Zoom window on the website. And this is the Zoom application actually downloaded to my computer. So it looks a little different, but either way is fine to get in. If you do have a Zoom account, go ahead and set up your profile picture here so that it shows up every time you attend a meeting. If you don't have your camera on, then your picture would be there, and that's kind of nice. Sometimes your host will ask you to participate in a poll, and they will just ask you a question, and you can click on these and submit your answer. What's fun about these is that everyone in the meeting can answer a poll, and then the host can share the results right there live in the meeting. So those are fun. Participate if that is going on in one of your meetings. And I'm sure you've heard about breakout rooms where you take the larger set of everybody attending a meeting and you can divide it into smaller rooms. It really, to me, is like attending a conference where they say, hey, let's visit with 4 or 5 people at your table and then get back together as a whole group. So what they'll do is they'll say, your host will say, hey, we're about to start some breakout rooms. We're going to divide you into groups. And this is kind of, I wanted to show what it looks like behind the scenes for the host so you could see. So here I was doing a large group one night. We divided into 10 rooms, and I set it so that 4 or 5 people would be in a room. They've actually added some features to this. So it used to be just automatically set up, or manually the host could pick who's going to attend each room. Now we have a self-selecting option, so we can pick which room we want to be in. Again, whatever the host has set up. And here again, this is what it looks like behind the scenes for our host. The host can see each room by name, and they can see the people that are going into it. And then when they open all the rooms, it kind of does a little Star Trekky transforming thing. And then suddenly you're in a smaller Zoom meeting with just a few people. And your host will let you know when the breakout room ends and bring the whole group back together. They're super fun. So I hope you get to try one soon. Now, some of the features I showed you are newer. So if you are using a Zoom account and you have not run the updates on your computer, you might not be able to do some of the fun things. So I would suggest that you go out and if you've got the Zoom application, you can click on your picture and get into the settings, or I think there's a little gear right below there too. You get in there and you can actually check for updates. And here's a day I was getting an update and I actually captured it so you could see it. I was getting an update and it just runs a few minutes, and that's it. Then your Zoom account will have those latest and greatest, and you can do the fun video backgrounds and video filters that I know you want to try. Okay, friends, so that is my quick introduction to participating in Zoom meetings, Zoom for the baby boomers. I hope that helps you, and I hope you have some fun with your family and friends getting together this winter. Thank you.